a fucking touchdown. Oh, shit. Hey, what's up, everybody?
Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boys, the Jet Flight Squad, DKBX Jets in here. We got Italy Jet, aka Gino Everything NYJ, and then we got Gunny Gumbo of New York Jets Situation Report in the building. Appreciate you guys coming through. You guys showed a lot of love on the last video too. It's huge ups. We greatly appreciate it. Looking to get this thing definitely going off the ground and continue to have a lot of fun with this. So I'll let you guys go ahead and kind of run through intros or whatever you want to say again real quick, and we'll take it off from there.
Hey man, I appreciate you, man. As always, go ahead and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. See me on YouTube as well, and the Facebook page. I almost did it again, bro.
You did.
At New York Jets Situation Report or at New York Jets Sit Rep. So that's where I'm at, but you're going to be catching us here every Thursday night, kicking it and talking some Jets football.
What's good, everyone? I'm Italy Jet, Gino Antonio Pagano. I'm with the two goats and another goat. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, and TikTok at Italy Jet and everything NYJ with that. We do this every Thursday night. It's always a good time.
Yeah, it should be fire. I get on my social media game. We're going to start running some promo.
There you go. Now
we talk. But I might as well be your publicist.
Hey, you know what, bro? Because the way you be working, when I find time to tap in, you usually go live like right before or after I'm getting off. I'm like, yo, this guy is plugged in with everybody.
For real though,
I think
all over the place.
I think at this point, Jet Central might be the only guy that's eluded your channel. Like,
don't worry though, he's working on that too. He's working on that. He's gonna get him.
Gino's fire, yo. I'm telling y'all, if y'all haven't ran by his channel, and this
man stay grinding.
This guy is the Jets community. I put it like that.
I appreciate that. I do something every day except Tuesdays. Tuesdays are my days off.
Yeah,
but a Gunny, I went on a Gunny show last week. It was really fun. No.
Yeah, that was fire.
Sorry, this past week.
It's already, bro. That was this past Tuesday.
I know, man. Shoot, like I told you.
You're all over the place. I get it.
But oh yeah, for sure. And then and DK, you've been doing this a long time too, and Gunny's been doing this for a while. I've been doing it for a while. I mean, when it comes to Jets community, you got to stay up to date. You got to keep going with the grind. We're all strong. We are the best content in the NFL, hands down. And we could do this like this every week. They got nothing on us. No one's got nothing on us.
Hey, yeah, I think I caught Green Bean. It might have. I can't remember who was going live, but I know Green Bean was on there. They were talking about us having potentially the strongest community of content creators for their team in the NFL.
Facts. It's not even. Dude, we're number one. Whoever says we're not, I can name.
Is not
10
watching
people right now. I can name 10 people right now.
Yo, I was laughing as they was talking about it because I was like, I had like 4 people reach out to me. I was like, I didn't even. Channel's fresh, they haven't even dropped the video yet. we gonna jump right into the community with it. I was like, I love it.
Everyone, why not?
Oh, facts. So, all right. Before we dive into it, so I guess the underlying topic, we'll see where this goes. Right? We were talking about this a little bit ago. The team and or positions. We'll see how deep we want to get with it. Being overrated versus underrated. But I got to ask, I caught flack on it when I dropped it, and I just thought it was the funniest piece of news ever. Did you guys hear about the Zach Wilson rumors with Tom Brady's wife and kind of what that whole situation is?
Yeah, I caught wind of a couple of it, bro.
Oh, my God.
Yo, look, social media is wild, bro. I mean, look, listen.
Dude.
She's about to be single, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're in the process of getting a divorce. So it is what it is, right? If Zach is interested, she's a good-looking woman, right? Maybe he wants to be Tom Brady's, kid stepdad, Maybe he want to go out and teach him a little athletic way of playing the quarterback position. You don't know. It's very possible. But I'm going to go, man, like, that's off-the-wall stuff, dog. I don't think Gisele's going to put herself out there like that. this is a lady that's worth $1 billion, right, in the modeling industry. But that it's it's funny though. It's funny just how quickly the media can just jump on something, man, run with it, and like there's like articles now being dropped. Like, is he really going after Tom?
Right.
I'm like,
right.
That's insane.
Somebody dropped a comment. They were like, what were they saying? I think I like threw some in my thumbnail that's like MILF hunting, and they were like, it's not MILF hunting anymore. She's a whole cougar. Like she is a woman with child.
Right. I don't.
Gotta love social media, bro. Gotta love social media.
Okay, first off, that dude Gisele's not gonna go after Zach Wilson. Let's be honest. She's either gonna work it out with Tom Brady, or she's gonna go with someone probably like that'll give her the time of day and probably help her with her career. It's like she's been saying over and over, it's her turn. I mean, I respect it, but we don't really know the full situation, so it is.
I mean, honestly speaking, man, like at this point, she's probably done with football players.
Oh yeah,
for sure. Athletes in general.
Exactly. I think Tom Brady ruined athletes for her just in general, bro. Like,
if you're not on the retired end of whatever your career is, I don't think you're getting the time of day.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think like she's gonna go ahead and find herself some mature banker or something like that. You know,
businessman,
somebody like that, man. A businessman, something like that. She's
not the banker.
I'm telling you, bro. Watch, it's gonna be somebody who's gonna worship her, man. That's what it is. She's gonna find somebody who's gonna put her first, because Tom Brady put that Lombardi chasing first, and
he did.
She's gonna find herself a Russell Wilson that's already retired.
God,
is Brett Favre single? Brett Favre's probably single.
No,
I don't think she wants that tax drama.
Now this you know what the tax drama. Her daughter's a bunch of drama too. She don't want that.
I don't know. I don't know too much more than what I spoke about already, but I'm dead. Yeah, it'd probably be the ultimate like feather cap in the New York Jets like world of post-Patriots revenge.
Yeah,
guaranteed.
Zach Wilson banging freaking Tom Brady's wife. That's talk about the freaking icing on the cake.
Oh my god.
The hell of a comeback. There's no topping that. The couple on a wedding cake, maybe, but there's no topping that for sure. But
probably looking at that.
Man, to go ahead and dive into it though. We broke it down a bit, right? We're sitting at 3-2. Things are looking pretty for us right now, right? I seen us as high as 12th in the power rankings, which is crazy. So we got that going. Obviously, the NFL is kind of buying into the hype a little bit. And then, sitting at this 3-2 record, all of a sudden we're getting a lot of flack, right? You know, I seen a lot of the posts. And I can't remember who it was. I want to say it was like Over Kramer or something like that. But they dropped his stats, right? So we played Trevor Lawrence. We played, I'm not forgetting his name, Lamar. We played Lamar Jackson. We caught L's in both of those. Those are considered some of the top tier quarterbacks in the league. And then we go out and play.
We didn't lose to Trevor Lawrence. Oh, you mean this year?
Oh, no.
We lost to Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson. We lost
Lamar and Joe Burrow. Yeah. So we play them. Then we come in. Teddy Bridgewater ends up getting smacked first play of the game. We get their third stringer. Who else did we end up running into again? Basically backups, right?
Yeah, we play. But the thing is this, though, man. Brissett wasn't a backup. He's a starter for the freaking Cleveland Browns for the rest of – and they've known this since the summertime. If they wanted a different person to come in there and play, that person would be their starter. So we're not playing backups. We're playing the starter of the Cleveland Browns because Deshaun Watson's been known to be suspended for the last freaking 2 months. So this isn't a backup. This is the starter for the next 11 games. So he's not a high-end starter. No, but he's the starter. And then the same thing with the Steelers. They're talking about we played backups for the Steelers too. But Mitch Trubisky was the starter. We held them to nothing, and then they put their second string guy, their first round pick in, Pickett. So we weren't playing a backup. We were playing the starter. He wasn't moving the ball, so they tried something different. And then, of course, you know what I'm saying, we took out Teddy Bridgewater. But what's crazy about that is the majority of the fan base was talking about Skylar Thompson this, Skylar Thompson that. He went undefeated in the preseason. He's better than freaking Tua. He's better than and if I'm not mistaken, Skylar Thompson is starting for the Dolphins this week, even though Teddy Bridgewater's healthy.
Yeah, I think they said Teddy's still in the protocol though.
Nah, they said that he's been gone through it, but they're gonna go ahead and just be careful with him. He's gone through the protocol, but they are giving first team reps to Skylar Thompson, and they've already announced that he'll be the backup for Skylar on Sunday. So like that to me says a lot. So did we maybe play who should have been your second string quarterback? I'm hearing now that he might be better than freaking Tua, bro. Like the Miami Dolphins fans are wild, bro. Like it's insane. Like literally, like now they're saying like this guy could be the next Tom Brady, apparently. Because he for no practice, he held his own against the Jets. I'm like, he held his own against the Jets. All right, whatever you want to tell yourself.
Man, okay, so like he's a Missouri boy, and I respect the Missouri boys. I love my Missouri boys, but like, dude, there's no way. I've been here with so back and forth this week. He's the next Tom Brady. He's the next Lamar Jackson. He's the next Russell Wilson. And then there's half of them are like, no, he's trash. And I'm like, okay, just get it together. Just get it together. You take the L. You lost. You're probably going to go with him again next week. We're focusing on the Packers now. Stop trying to start shit again. We'll see you at the end of the year. Everything will be fine. And let's hope it'll be a good game as both teams will continue to grow the chemistry. But overall, Dolphins fans, shut up.
DK.
Yeah, what's up? You good?
Yeah. Okay. It's some wildness in the background.
Are you taking out the trash?
If only. So, all right. I think we've always had smoke with Dolphins fans, right? As close to them being the basement dweller team in the NFL. And let alone our own division, I think they're just ready for all the heat because they finally got some legitimate pieces around them.
Yep.
And suddenly they can't do nothing with it. But I guess for our own situation, how do you guys feel about Zach Wilson? I know he's kind of like on the rise in a lot of articles that I'm seeing. They're saying that he's playing, this perfect role suddenly for this offense, which is kind of like a plus game manager. Are we considering him overrated, underrated? What are we looking at?
Okay, Gunny, you go first.
Yeah, look, I'll be the first to tell you, like, I love what I'm seeing in Zach Wilson, right? Because this is a continuation of what we saw towards the back end of last season. Like, every time people talk about last season, all they remember is the first 4 games where the guy was thrown into the NFL from BYU. Speed of the game was obviously too fast for him. And he came back from injury after having a chance to calm down a little bit. And he played good football. Respectable football. I mean, he came into the season with 172 pass attempts with no turnovers. I think he was leading the league in most attempts with no turnovers. Zach Wilson, even in the Steeler game where he got the 2 turnovers, I don't put both of them on Zach, man. I think Tyler Conklin, you're an NFL tight end, and I understand Zach Wilson did kind of hesitate a little bit to get that ball out to him because when he first saw him, I don't know if it was because he was way too open. He's like, man, he can't be that open. And then when he realized he tried to get the ball out to him, and he had to go ahead and do a little side angle throw. It was a little bit high, but it hit Conklin in the hands. And then he pops it up, of course, interception. The other freaking interception, it was a good read, bad throw, but at worst, it should have been an incompletion. Elijah Moore didn't finish his freaking route into the end zone to pull his guy away. And his guy's when that peeled off and went for the ball because Elijah Moore stopped his route short. So minus those 2 turnovers, Zach Wilson has played great football. Like against immense pressure against the Steelers, he threw for 55%. But if you look at it, a lot of those throws were throwaways. He was avoiding the sack, which is something Zach Wilson of last year would have tried to hold on to the ball to create something and taken the sack. So that's a step forward in the right direction. And then in the fourth quarter right now, he's the most efficient quarterback in the NFL. In the fourth quarter right now, he's the most efficient quarterback in the NFL. I think if he's also kept clean, like if he's got a clean pocket, he's got a 95.2 QBR, which would be good for second in the NFL right now. when he has a clean pocket. Like his reads are a lot more clear. Like people are like, man, he needs to throw for 300 yards and blah blah. He came within 2 yards of having a 3-touchdown game against Miami. And which is, I think, funny because it's also an extension of last year when he would have had more touchdowns, vice interceptions, but he led the league with 7 individual players that got stopped within 3 yards of the end zone on throws that he threw. Led the league in the NFL with that stat. So it's going to come, man. It's going to come. It's just this week, maybe freaking, Breece Hall or Elijah Moore gets into the end zone, vice being stopped at that 1 yard line or the 2 yard line or whatever. And then you're going to start seeing those 2 touchdown games, 3 touchdowns that everybody wants to see to validate that he's actually progressing. But nah, man, I'm pleased with what I'm seeing with Zach Wilson right now, because the biggest question mark that we had about him, it wasn't about can he make all the pretty throws. He can make them. We've seen him do it against Tampa, against Tennessee. It was the easy stuff. Could he process the easy stuff? And he's doing that. And now that he's doing it, people are like, oh man, he didn't throw for 300 yards. Like he's just game managing. No, he's not. When he's averaging 10 yards per attempt. That's not game management when you're freaking averaging a first down per attempt that you throw. So I think Zach Wilson is playing extremely well right now. And I think it's great because it's only game 2 and he's only going to build more rapport with his freaking weapons, keep getting better in game decisions and game time experiences. And I mean, I had him throwing for 4,000 yards this season. He lost three games already, but based off of the trajectory in which Joe Flacco was operating, he would have well exceeded the 4,000 mark had he started the year, healthy. But at this point, I want to keep seeing him progress. I'm personally happy with what I'm seeing in Zach Wilson.
Well, I agree with you, Gunny. But for me, I still think he's underrated. But I just want to see more. I don't want to see him going backwards. I want to see him when he runs. I want to see him going forwards into the sides. We know he can do it. Last 6 games, he was very impressive last year. And for me, I want to see more chemistry with the wide receivers. I want to see more chemistry with the running backs and with the tight ends. I know it's LaFleur's fault a little bit because he's not using the tight ends as much. But for me, he has been very good in the fourth quarter. And he's been good in the first quarter, too. It's just that second and third quarter. I want him to be good all 4 quarters. And also, I do understand that he's working with little when it comes to the offensive line, so that does suck, and I do understand that. But I just want him to be a little bit more consistency when it comes to overall play. But I do know that he is finishing games. I do love that. You could see he's playing throughout. I mean, I love what he said about let's go get a fucking touchdown. That's what you want to see from your QB1. So, for me, underrated. I like what I'm seeing in the fourth quarter. I just want more consistency in 1, 2, 3, and fourth quarter and more chemistry building.
Fair. I'm probably going to join. I'm going to say underrated. Taking a look at this week is interesting, right? We got Aaron Rodgers coming in, which is essentially not only his mentor, which, it kind of happened. I don't want to say out of the blue, but Aaron Rodgers historically hasn't just picked up new quarterbacks and, developed friendships. He's also essentially within the same mold and kind of that top tier quarterback level that we'd expect Zach Wilson to eventually get to, right? So when I take a look at their games, kind of how they're comparing where he's at to where Aaron Rodgers at, obviously there's a lot of things that aren't going to match up. But with Zach Wilson, I'm not going to, cry over spoiled milk. There's few things in his game that you point to and say this is an egregious error right now. We absolutely need to get this corrected by next week, which I think second year in, keep in mind, he hasn't even played an actual full NFL season's worth of games. Right. He's 15 games in to his career. So where he's at, where he's progressed, I think going back to a point that we had discussed way off cam a while back, right? He probably would have done well if he actually sat his first year based off what we've seen. He sits, he learns, he has time to figure out all of the little kinks and, things that are going on with his game, and he excels. And what we're seeing right now is I think him excelling in our offense with where we're currently at. We know on any given game, any one of our positional units can explode with him operating it. The running game, has definitely improved, but we've been keeping our running backs in the receiving game the entire, season so far. Breece Hall was top 3 in running back targets in the NFL. Michael Carter, obviously, he's had some hiccups, but, he has the hands. And then we still have this young wide receiver core. I actually like currently that we're kind of getting away from these 2 tight end sets that we generally want to run with this offense. But that's more so based on the fact that CJ Uzomah has not produced anything close to what we expected. Jeremy Ruckert is either clearly not ready for a role or he can easily replace him. So with what Zach Wilson's being asked to do, I'm in the same boat. The multiple touchdown games are going to come, and it's not really a whole lot more that we're going to ask. I think he still even has the potential to bump up a few more, what do we call it? Average yards that he's targeting his players, because there's been not only the throwaways, there's been a handful of players that he's just barely missed or they've been contested. Keep in mind, Elijah Moore is being utilized in a little bit of a weird way this season, where he's being, tossed out there on long routes, 20 plus yards. We don't have nearly enough time to, develop those and try to get some deep play action passes going. But I think historically, with what we're coming from, what Mark Sanchez ultimately devolved into, Geno Smith's career, it doesn't get any worse than it potentially being ended by a punch. And then we have the Hackenberg drama and all of that. I am clearly happy with where we're at. So I guess one of the final things with the position, because I'm kind of interested for your guys' thoughts with this one, right? Robert Saleh mentioned very early on, prior to us getting him, when we still thought we were going to take Sam Darnold as a reclamation project. We draft Zach Wilson. The team, you're not going to have to lift the team. The team is going to lift you, right? I think our offense is built around that. Do we feel – I guess the question would be, has Zach Wilson done a good job of letting our playmakers handle the stuff, or do we still think we see enough traces of him trying to play hero ball? Because in my opinion, I haven't seen it. I think he's actually out there trying to make things happen as quickly as he can. We can talk about scheme all day. I don't think we're really doing much in the short and intermediate as much as we should. But what do you guys think?
Gunny, you can go first.
Okay. Honestly, man, I agree. He's not playing hero ball. I think the promises that were made to him by Joe Douglas and Coach Saleh, you're seeing that come to fruition, right? Like, even as we're sitting here right now, do y'all realize that he completed his first 7 passes this past week to 7 different freaking receivers, different targets? His first 7 passes went to 7 different targets. Like, that doesn't scream more than we're going to give you all the weapons you need, all the tools you need to be successful, because we want to help you get to your best self. We don't need you to have to be your best self for this team to succeed. Like, that speaks volumes, right? The ability to move Elijah Vera Tucker all over the offensive line because he's willing to go ahead and make those adjustments, make that sacrifice, so that way his quarterback can feel more comfortable back there in the pocket. That speaks to them putting the kind of people around Zach Wilson that's going to allow him to not have to lift the team up. Just do your job. Just do your job. But in situations like we needed in against the Steelers, we might call on you to go ahead and do a little bit more. But here's the tools you need to do that, right? So that's why, to me, man, like, I'm okay with Zach Wilson playing within the confines of the system. We know the system works. We know the system can generate incredible freaking stat lines with yards after the catch. It's made for those quick under routes to have those yak weapons get the ball in their hands for them to succeed. 2.5 seconds. 2.5 seconds is what this scheme is wrapped around in order for you to get the ball out of your hands, let your playmakers make the play. Like, freaking Jimmy Garoppolo is nowhere near as talented as Zach. But you know what he does have? He has freaking George Kittle and he has Deebo Samuel, right? Get the ball out of your hands. Let those guys go do the work. I think they've put enough weapons around Zach. And, of course, we're young. It's a young roster still. So, like, we can't expect the level of a George Kittle and a Deebo Samuel. You said it beautifully. CJ Uzomah, we haven't seen him do anything. But when you watch the tape, CJ Uzomah is being left in as an inline blocker most of the time to kind of help this patch-up offensive line protect Zach. So I can see the benefit in doing that, and I have a theory on that. I think they're going to save CJ Uzomah for a breakout game where he's just going to, because the tape is going to show that when he's out there, he's blocking. He's blocking. Tyler Conklin is going on the route. He's blocking. I believe they're going to utilize him, and I think it's going to be against the Bills. I think it's going to be in the Bills game. where you're going to need to bring everything you've got to have a shot to beat these guys. You're going to see CJ Uzomah utilized as not only a blocker, but the receiving weapon that he is. This is a guy who made Joe Burrow's life easy last year. Like Joe Burrow will tell you, he made his job easy last year. And we haven't utilized him in that capacity. So I do believe that Zach is playing within the confines of the offense until called upon, until we're down in the freaking fourth quarter and we need him to go get a fucking touchdown. And he's like, I got it. Let's go get the fucking touchdown. So I do believe that Coach Saleh and Joe Douglas have done an incredible job at literally building him up because we know the arm talent is there. That's what I love about this whole process. Everybody's like, oh man, he's a game manager. Sure thing. Give me a game manager that's going to go ahead and throw for 10 yards per clip. I'm all about it. Yeah, first down every time he throws the ball, sure thing. I'm all about it. But there's going to be that game where they're like, surprise, motherfucker. And then Zach Wilson's going to light it up. And you want that when it comes to your quarterback. We don't need everybody knowing the tricks. And then, again, we're a young team. We are going to need to use some scheming, right? Some surprises, like freaking Sauce Gardner coming on a cornerback blitz to go ahead and take out Teddy Bridgewater last week. Nobody saw that coming. I was like, have we done a cornerback blitz all year? We had not up until that point. And it was very, very effective. So I'm telling you, CJ Uzomah right now has not been utilized to his full potential, but he's always out there and he's blocking. I think the Buffalo Bills game, because that defensive line is so terrifying, is going to be where they're going to utilize him as an inline blocker that goes out on that freaking for the check down pass and whatnot. He's going to make you pay for it. To the flats. I'm telling you, they're building it up. And it's chess. Our coaches are playing chess right now because I think they understand the talent is there, but the Buffalo Bills are a different beast. And I think that's going to be the division game where you see CJ Uzomah surprise individuals and have a pretty breakout game.
I can totally see that. I'll start with Zach. For me, no, I don't think he's playing hero ball. I think he's trying to pick up what he's trying to do from the last 6 games of last year. Those last six games of last year, it was some of his best football in his whole career. And I think he's just trying to figure it out, the chemistry. Because you can tell his chemistry with the wide receivers and running backs and the tight ends are just not there yet. I mean, he's shown some good stuff. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind he shows up in the fourth quarter, but I still think he's just trying to figure it out. I think, honestly, he's trying to stay healthy. Yeah, he says he's 100%, but, like, there are times when he's, like, been hit, and we're all like, he's struggling getting up. So, like, it's one of those things where if he could just stay healthy and be consistent with that, I think he's going to be just fine because LaFleur's offense is based on scrambling a lot and quick passes because your O-line is going to – I mean, with our O-line, sometimes it fails. So you got to be quick. You got to be really quick with your passes. You got to be really quick scrambling. And that's why we drafted Breece Hall, and that's why we got Michael Carter. Michael Carter is very good in the red zone. He punches it in there. And Hall, he's very good on the sides, except he doesn't want to – he doesn't fumble, but he doesn't like at the 1 yard line. He's like, get in there, Breece. So
he cost me so many fantasy football points last week. I'm so salty about that.
But like we have the players there. It's just he just has to build the chemistry more. And when he does build that chemistry more, and the old line comes to fruition, like it'll be good. But the tight ends, that's like my number one pet peeve with this offense is the tight ends. We haven't used them. We haven't used CJ Uzomah in the red zone. He's so good with the Bengals in the red zone. I love CJ's when it comes to him being a leader because when you see the tape, he's always on the sidelines, always pumping people up. He's always around. And Conklin –
positive, straight positive all the time.
And then when it comes to him dropping the ball, Conklin, it's like, okay, he bounced back 1 week, but and then we didn't really see him afterwards. I think I agree with you, DK, when it comes to Rucker. Rucker has just been – he's not there yet. I mean, he had an injury. He was out all OTAs, half a training camp. So I think just keep building him up. But I think we need to work with what we got with our top tight ends in general. So and also the wide receivers, it's like Corey Davis. Corey Davis has been consistent for me. I know everyone says Garrett Wilson's been consistent. More you see him night and day with them. But I think our most consistent wide receiver right now is Corey Davis, Garrett Wilson, and then you just – that's just me though. But then you got to pick one between Berrios and Moore because these guys are wide open. You see Berrios and Wilson and Moore wide open all the time. If Zach can continue to build that chemistry, we're gonna be great. I love what I'm seeing with that. So to answer your question, he's not playing hero ball. I just think he's just trying to figure it out.
Caveat on what you just said to Italy Jet. Corey Davis right now is our best wide receiver.
Speaking, I agree.
Our best wide receiver. And again, statistically speaking. Now, again, in terms of pure talent, he's still behind, Wilson and, of course, behind Moore. But right now, based off of the stats, he is our best wide receiver.
I don't know. No disrespect to David. I say he's our best explosive weapon. He just seems to find a way to make it happen. He's also been one of the key cogs for the fourth quarter drives. He's been catching some stuff that's been slightly behind him.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see that, considering how many fans are giving them crap about,
the drops,
hands, the butterfingers.
Yeah.
Yeah, he out there snacking on popcorn in between series,
but Wilson keeps throwing it this way, up here. So, I mean, I understand, but.
Yo, all right, we'll pivot a little bit because I'm curious now, right? I was thinking about this when you was wrapping up, Gino, and then Gunny said something. It is almost damn near like we done built up kind of a Madden roster of talent out here, right? You know how we'll still go and pick that first round wide receiver. No, we done spent money on 2 free agents. We done drafted one already last year. We're stashing them in the wings. I got a feeling that's kind of what's happening with Rucker. I kind of picked him to have a breakout game. Oh, crap. I picked him to have a breakout game.
Good catch.
I had him to have a breakout game before CJ, only because I felt like they would keep CJ in a blocking role. And then the 2 tight end packages we originally assumed CJ was going to take, they would start funneling in Rucker more. But that's more so just kind of based on, I guess, some of the guesses and how I've seen them try to use him in the preseason, and him kind of filling that Trayvon Wesco role almost, because I feel like that's kind of what's happening to CJ right now, and I think that's why a lot of people are pissed. It's not the best way to spend $23 million, but I mean, when your offensive line goes to shit,
yeah, you gotta adapt, bro.
The fact that we can pivot the way we're doing, bro, I think is ridiculous. So I think I give probably more credit to the coaching staff than what I see a lot of the other fan base doing, or at least, the Jets content creators that are out here on the YouTube side of things. What do you guys think about them? It's a conversation I'll always try to have as often as possible. I guess we'll leave it to Robert Saleh first, with him being head man in charge. What do we feel about the job that he's been doing and kind of this turnaround that we're seeing? I would probably even say over expectations to start the season.
All right. So, Coach Saleh, like I said before, I was very vocal on loving the man. I think 99.9% of Jets fans, when he was identified as our next head coach, were ecstatic. And the fact of the matter is, man, he is truly a leader of men. Bless you. Like, this is a dude that can literally motivate and inspire grown men to follow him into a freaking wildfire. And that's the kind of, coach you need, especially in a franchise that has been just deprived of positive leadership. The culture has been just disgusting, just disturbing. And he has come and created a culture and a mindset of anything is possible if you give more than you think you have, right? Like the motivational freaking aneurysms that he utilizes, the 60%, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's incredible because those are little detailed nuances that I know I've seen in great leaders in the military. These are men that are motivating us to go ahead and go into war and freaking put our lives on the line. And we get pumped up from those kind of leaders. This is the equivalent of what Coach Saleh is doing. You know what I'm saying? These guys are going to war, you know what I'm saying, on the football field, right? And that motivation is still motivation. Like it gives an extra surge of energy to grown men. Now, I think Coach Saleh, the biggest question mark we've always had was the X's and O's, right? Like, can this guy play chess against, the Bill Belichick's? Can he hold his own against like a Tom Conklin, right? Like we've needed to know, because like we don't know if it's in his DNA because we haven't seen it. Mm-hmm. And I can honestly say, I think we've seen it this year. Like we've seen more adaptability on this roster than we even realized, because people don't remember this, but Lamar Jackson in that rushing game was non-existent in week 1. Non-existent. They adapted to the strength of that particular team. They focused on stopping and slowing it down, and they did that. Since then, the Baltimore Ravens have ran rampant on everyone else that they played. Not the Jets, though, right? Now, when it came down to freaking the Cleveland Browns, they attempted to do the same thing, but Jacoby Brissett could actually throw the ball a little bit. So he got us a little bit more in the screen pass game. But they adjusted towards the second half of the game. We've seen the adjustments. I don't think we've seen our defense play the same in any of the games thus far this year.
Nah, we've already definitely targeted some kind of weakness for the defense, and we key in on that, kind of like a pick your poison situation.
Exactly, right? And this is where we needed to know, can Coach Saleh do the X's and O's? Can he be adaptable? A big hit on him was last year, he was going to run his scheme, right? And he did not care. He did not care when he was going to run it, even if it didn't match up. And this year we've seen that adaptability, and it's seen positive results. I don't think any of us thought we were going to be 3-2 coming into the month of October. I had us at 2-3, but 3-2 is much better than 2-3. And what's crazy is we're seeing this team play, and they've only gotten better every single week. And we're going up against the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field. And I'll tell you right now, my wife is a huge Green Bay Packers fan. And for as long as we've been together, she's never been afraid of playing the Jets. To her, it was a given that they were going to get the win. And she's been right. That's been the case. She's worried. My wife is worried about playing the Jets because, one, she's seen the Packers play, and then she's seen us play. And now she's worried. And to me, that's when I knew, okay, it's not just my fandom that's freaking going berserk, because Jessica will freaking, bring me down to earth real quick. But she's worried. And we can literally go into Lambeau Field this week and win this game. And I do believe our coach has a game plan that's going to give us the best advantage possible to win that game. Everybody kept talking about the Miami Dolphins ran all day on us, blah, blah, blah. People don't realize we ran a cover 2 defense the entire time. Like, there was two safety high the entire freaking game. They strategically decided, you know what? We can either stop Tyreek Hill and Waddle, or do a more balanced freaking game plan to go ahead and stop the run, stop the freaking the pass. But all it takes is one good, perfectly timed throw. And Waddle or Hill is taking it to the house. Olympic speed is what those guys bring to the table. They decided to take them out of the game. And if you're gonna have to beat us, you're gonna have to run the ball on us. People are like, oh man, they ran so many yards. That was the game plan. The game plan was to allow them to run the ball, right? Keep them in front of you. Don't allow a lot of big explosive freaking runs. Make them run the ball. They took away freaking what that offense was doing really well this year, which was passing the ball. And that to me shows our coach is adaptable. I am even higher now on Coach Saleh than I was prior to the season. Didn't even know it was possible. And yet here I am.
Gunny for president. Okay. So here we go. Here we go. Listen, I did not want Saleh. He was my second choice. Mike McCarthy was my first choice. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Bear with me. Saleh, I liked what he did with San Francisco. I liked what he did with Detroit. I liked what he did with the Houston Seahawks. Like, you can't like argue with someone on the career that he's had as a coordinator. But I wanted someone that had a Super Bowl, that was already experienced head coach, because the Jets have always seemed to pick coaches that were just like, oh, he's never been a head coach before. We always pick up these coordinators. And I'm like, okay, I get that. But then I was really happy that we did get Mike McCarthy. And then I looked into more with Saleh. I was like, okay, all right. So he's the guy that's got to have that comeback coach tossing him on the side every time. He's the one that has to barrel him to get him back. I'm like, okay. So then I just kept reading up more about it. I'm like, okay, I like what I see, but I'm from St. Louis. You guys show me something. I'm the show me state. So as he continued to keep going, he really disappointed me the first year. So I was like, okay, because he's a defensive guy. But my whole perspective on him changed this year, because not only do guys want to come here to play with him, they are taking cheap money to play with him. And I haven't seen that since the Rex Ryan days.
Facts.
Jason Taylor took a pay cut. Damian Woody took a pay cut. LT took a pay cut. They all took pay cuts because they wanted to play for the fucking New York Jets. So now I keep going and looking everything that's going on, you could say, he isn't holding anybody accountability. You could say that, he's not harming his players. He wants to be, the players' coach. I think I understand that. We all want the Bill Parcells, Bill Belichick kind of feel, but then we can all say, oh, well, he's too hard. We need a players' coach. You can go back and forth on that all day long. But at the end of the day, what's really impressed about Saleh with me is you look at the tape, you look at Flight 2022, you look at New York Jets Drive, they want to play for him. They want to go to war with him. We haven't seen that since Rex Ryan. And I guess you can argue Todd Bowles. But I love what he's doing. I'm still like with the coaching staff, Ulbrich, it's still – we got to know a little bit more with Ulbrich. But I've never called for Saleh's head, and I hope he continues to make the adjustments, keep switching people out, and keep developing. If he can do that, he's going to be a head coach for the Jets for a long time. I like that people want to come here and play for him. We haven't seen that. So I think he's doing a great job. If he can continue doing what he's doing, I'm here for it.
Hell yeah.
I think you take an L for that Mike McCarthy comment, yo. I can't.
What's up?
Mike McCarthy comment.
You taking an L for the Mike McCarthy thing.
Whatever. I like Mike McCarthy.
Because you know what?
I'm not going to be ashamed of that. I'm not going to be ashamed of that.
You should be.
No, man.
Hey,
no,
you know what?
I should be ashamed if I liked Adam Gase, and I never did. So there you
I don't
go.
think anybody like that. To be fair, though, I don't think anybody wanted Adam Gase.
Used to like Uncle Ruckus eyeball shit. I was like, we're done.
I was like, and there goes the next couple of seasons. This guy's the coach.
Right.
Man, I feel you. I did. When I was looking at the coaching carousel, I don't necessarily care if they had a head coaching experience. I know the league kind of tends to, these newer guys that coming in, they're hot. They got new schemes or at least new ideas that, seem to be working. If it wasn't going to be Robert Saleh, I was praying to God that we went and got why is his name escaping me now? What's old boy?
Brian
That's no, Chiefs.
The
enemy.
Yeah.
I was praying to God that we got him. I think that dude is highly underrated. Highly underrated. But I didn't think there was going to be much of a chance for that. But irregardless, I think two of the most critical things you can look for in a coach is, can he evolve in his role? Do players want to come and play for him? Because I think that's a huge piece to it as well. That speaks to a lot of things. More team building, morale, the leadership. When you take a look at that first year season that he had, that's one of the worst first year seasons that any New York Jets coach has had. I mean, including Adam Gase, including Todd Bowles, Rex Ryan, the whole gambit. Everybody's come in and they've generally had successful first years. He's first one to go and then, get skunked in his division.
And last in defense too, which is unheard of for a New York Jets freaking team.
As your specialty.
He's a defense coach.
That made me worry. That made me really worry.
And I knew it was bad when Rex Ryan started giving us flack because I was like,
Rex, bro.
Man,
he pissed off Rex, dog.
Rex Ryan was my guy, but it was like, your defenses were great because of the guys that you brought through. He never, when we go back and look, he never really got a chance to go and develop his own guys. I mean, we had Muhammad Wilkerson for a little bit, but everybody that was doing damage and causing pressure was like Calvin Pace, who was getting coverage sacks. It was David Harris, who was out there just playing like a mini Ray Lewis. We had Bart Scott, So it was really a bunch of guys that already came in and been established. And then by the time we wasted all of our picks to go and grab these guys, I won't say waste. By the time we spent what could have helped develop some of the youth of the team and then probably extended his run, the offense imploded. The team was like, we're not here to be losers. It was a bunch of chaos. So none of that occurred with Robert Saleh. And there was every opportunity to. You get smacked in your division. You're the laughing stock of the entire NFL. I mean, we literally had teams calling us out and saying, we know we got a dub this week. These players are all crap. We don't have a single person we need to be aware of. So I don't even have a problem with him sticking to his scheme last year because in the grand scheme of things and seeing how he's evolved this year, the general understanding, or at least my kind of theory on what would have happened with that is he really wanted the players to understand how this is meant to be run, how this can kind of evolve, 2-3 years down the line. But for what we want to run as, kind of our go-to on, an every down basis, this is what we want. We fast forward to this year, we're seeing the switch ups, right? Because he also has much better players and, weapons to utilize the defense that he wants.
Yeah.
Now we're taking Bryce Huff out when we're, going against run-oriented teams. We're bringing him in. His snap counts, skyrocketed recently. He's still up there with Quinnen Williams and Carl Lawson. We're seeing this rotation work, which is still a touchy subject for a lot of people, but we're seeing a lot of the differences. I want to say the call out that I had seen when I was kind of researching it was that we've been playing a lot better situational football for what we're facing instead of just saying, and I have no problem with this, I just don't think the NFL defense will generally run for this anymore. If I want to run my defense, it's going to be on you to stop it until otherwise proven, much like an offense acts, right? So I will give you my look all day. I'm going to throw 4 on the line. I'm going to drop my linebackers out in the coverage. I'm going to lock up man coverage. Until you stop me, there's no need to switch up. But, that was a hard thing to sell in year one, seeing what we did. So for Robert Saleh, I think it's a lot of the behind the scenes pieces. And if people aren't doing their research, they're going to miss a lot of this. And I think they're relying on a lot of Jets content creators to point out a lot of this stuff, which, depending on how heavy we want to dive into it, it's not something that's just universally going to be out there. I've heard Green Bean does a pretty good job of trying to keep an eye on stuff like that by default, because Jets Chaos and like Matt Leary, all of those guys kind of hang out in the same circles. Those are generally the go-tos, but like even to a degree, Jets Central, not to like knock on him, his stuff is more like updates and kind of news coverage. It's less X Factor, Jets based kind of stuff. So I think we really need to dive into a lot of that, which is why I love One Jets Drive. That docuseries.
Me too.
Man,
oh, it's great.
Pure gold, bro.
Man,
love it.
Life-saving stuff as a fan.
Oh yeah. And let's be honest, we got 3 legends in this chat that we're there. We're right up there with them.
And we're just getting better. And
Exactly.
we're going to keep getting better. Oh,
Yo,
BK Trainer with the comment. We
Who?
needed BK Trainer. You just saw his comment. I love that. We needed a coach that can inspire and build a winning culture for the next 7+ years. Saleh was my choice from jump. Now, I mean, again, I'm not gonna lie to you. I did want an offensive-minded coach, and I was big on Brian Dable and Coach Bieniemy. And Coach Saleh was my third option, but it was purely based off of I knew if he came, he was bringing one of those guys right from that tree with him to be his O coordinator. But I really wanted it was Brian Dable first for me, then it was Bieniemy, and then it was freaking Robert Saleh. So, in all actuality, like out of those guys, I think, I mean, we don't know, right? We don't know what Bieniemy is going to be when he becomes a head coach. That's still, what I'm saying,
Yes.
unknown. But Brian Dable, I think, has done a really, really good job with the Giants.
Yo,
Let's be honest, bro.
It's sickening, bro. I got a pit in my stomach every time I see a fucking W from them.
You and I both, bro. I'm like, oh man. All right. Hopefully it's just a fluke. It's because when you look at that roster and what those guys are doing, how are they 4-1?
They want to play for their coach.
That's exactly it.
Coaching changes.
It matters,
everything.
bro. Coaching matters, man.
Winning and coaching changes everything.
Matters.
Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter who you are.
That's why I think right now, like Brian Dable, I think is definitely showing me something. I was just like, damn.
He might be coach of the year. I don't care if he.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be shocked.
If they go 500, he's coach of the year because the Giants roster is decimated. It's decimated.
They rolled out what the last couple weeks of our season last year looked like. I mean,
bruh.
They were rolling out there against Aaron Rodgers with Tariq Blacks and goddamn.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. It hurts that Penix there. It hurts so much.
Oh man.
Honestly,
I'm gonna be highly upset if we catch that L for that exact reason. Because I was like, I'll be damned if Daniel Jones and a one-man Saquon Barkley can Rodgers and them, and we can't. That's it, bro.
Right.
You know what?
Get out of here.
Because that's exactly what
Jones is the guy. Jones is their guy, man.
Well, truthfully, Jones and Dillon, man, and the focus should purely be to stop the run because I don't think any of their wide receivers can create separation from any of our defensive backs. We could be like, hey, you guys are man to man on these guys. You know what I'm saying? Then focus on stopping the run. And I think we make a very tough day for Aaron Rodgers because I don't see any other wide receivers getting a sliver of light with our DBs covering them. So like they've got no number one wide receiver. Randall Cobb right now is their best option. And he's a third option at best. He's 36, I think. 30. He's on the wrong end of 30. Yeah, this isn't the freaking Randall Cobb of 2015, 2014. This is 2022. Like honestly, Carter should be able to lock him down by himself.
Right, I think we're going to smack them because the other piece too is everybody knows how infamous Aaron Rodgers is for like treating his wide receivers.
Cobb's only 32. He's only
32. That's
it. 32.
No,
he just had a birthday.
32.
Yeah.
Damn.
August 22, 1990. Randall Cobb, 32.
Leave it for us to throw a couple years out there.
I did, man. I feel like he's been playing forever in a day.
Hey,
though,
I could have sworn he was 36, 38.
I'm like mid to late 30s at least, bro.
No, he's 32 years old. August 22, 1990.
He's playing like he's 36, 38.
Hey, Aaron Rodgers
like Deshaun Watson
ran into the ground during that first stint out there.
Man, so speaking of which, let's jump into it, right? So we're playing the Packers this week, right? Like, how do you guys feel about this game?
Yo, so I didn't want to put this in the video because I felt like I was going to catch hella heat.
Dude, do it. We're all going to catch heat. It doesn't matter who you are.
One way or another.
Say your opinion, DK.
Okay.
Say your opinion, man.
So I think looking back at things and just how the season has evolved, this is looking like one of the easiest potential W's we can have. And I know it's going to be wild to say, but it's for this exact reason. The wide receivers should not be able to be honest, if we held them under 150 yards, I wouldn't be surprised. He trusts absolutely zero of his wide receivers to run anything deeper than 10 yards and have any kind of success. Yeah. Alan Lazard had one breakout game that he went nuts on, and then ever since, they've been trying to toss up 50-50 balls that he has no chance of winning near the sideline. Randall Cobb, he's essentially their entire offense if they can't run the game.
Right.
Christian Watkins is kind of a gadget player right now. They don't really have any kind of substance to their offense. And they've been moving they've been moving away from the running game, which is pretty much the crux of how they want to set things up, right? We're running two very similar offenses.
Yep.
We're seeing them have success doing it. We're seeing them struggling. And I don't know if it's actually a coaching issue or if Aaron Rodgers is kind of feeling the pressure of his contract. Yeah. He's saying, I need to pretty much run the same way I've been doing things in the past or, to a much better degree. He's not playing anywhere near an MVP level. And I do think a lot of it has to go with the fact that he can't attack the deep part of the field whatsoever. And it's something that we've absolutely negated from our defense after those first 2 weeks of the season. So I think the only way they even relatively keep it close is if they do make a commitment to, keep things on the ground. AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones it's not a problem I'm happy to deal with, but I think we've done. And I think a huge part of this also is going to rely on our rotation, right? Quinnen Williams on the field, I think we're averaging 3.8 yards per carry or something like that when teams are rushing against us. When he's off the field, it shoots up to 4.8, right? Yeah. Bryce Huff probably is going to take a back seat again this game, but I'm happy with what Sheldon Rankins has done. Quinnen Williams has been a beat. I think Vinny probably gets activated for this game. I would assume, because I don't know who's going to take Jermaine Johnson's snaps if they, relegate Bryce Huff back a little bit. But between the defense up front, obviously still balling out, Carl Lawson coming on. Quan Alexander, I think, should be eating up as many snaps as he absolutely can. I can fully feel why they said that man's the energy source of that defense, because he makes one or two hits, let alone plays a game.
And it makes you cringe.
Right.
I'm like,
and it don't look crazy at first, which is don't look crazy. I look at my TV, I hear a sound effect, and I look up and there's Quan Alexander.
What was that?
Yeah, bro.
Bruh. Yeah. So it's crazy. I'm keeping it modest this game for predictions because I feel like I've been doing blowouts the last 3 weeks. I really do think even if the scoreboard is close, I think this is a game that it looks like we run away with from start to finish. I just don't see Aaron Rodgers in that passing game being able to do anything against us, and it's not an offense that really wants to run like 40 times a game. Or at least not something I could see Aaron Rodgers allowing.
Yeah.
His ego is too crazy.
Too big. There's no way he's gonna allow
way
that.
Too crazy to not say I'm the reason we won this game.
Facts.
Mm-hmm. All right, you know what? You guys can both run for president. I'll just help you with the okay.
Campaign manager, baby. Campaign manager.
I am. Hey, I do a lot of it anyway. Add it to the resume. Listen. I'm gonna say this, and I back by it 100%. Gunny, me and you have talked about it on your show. The Jets have an opportunity to win against the Broncos and the Green Bay Packers. When's the last time we could say that? These guys are vulnerable right now. The chemistry is off. Green Bay's coming out of London, jet lagged as heck. First time I ever saw Aaron Rodgers worried. I looked on the field after that game. He was worried. There's no chemistry with this wide receiver. There's no chemistry with him, with him in general. Yeah, he doesn't look good. Wilson doesn't look good. These guys don't look good. We have an opportunity to take advantage of no chemistry with these teams, because once they get rolling, oh my goodness, I don't even think we have a chance. I'm going to be honest, because if OBJ decides to go to Green Bay later this year or in the middle of the year or goes somewhere else, if the Broncos pick up another weapon, maybe in free agency, we might be a little bit screwed. We got to take advantage of the opportunities of, like, now with a good chemistry team while they're failing. If we can do that, that changes everything. When's the last time we could say that? I don't remember. But I think this is our time. This is our time to capitalize on this. Take advantage of the weaknesses and capitalize on the W's. Because this is a good time. These are good games to win. And no one ever said we can't. People are still giving us credit. Let's do it. Let's prove them wrong. Gino out.
I'm loving it. You know what? Gino for president. You know what I'm saying? You got my vote, Gino. Shit. Look, I think it's crazy because, like, we're talking about going up against Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau Field, and ain't nobody here shook. Right? And so this is. I'm glad you guys. This is some stats that I got for you guys. So everybody is talking about how, like, oh my God, Aaron, their defense, their passing defense is like second in the league, man. How are we gonna compare with those? And then so I said, all right, second in the league. Let me go ahead and see, like, you know what I'm saying, how this pass defense looks. So they have faced nobody to the likes of the wide receivers they're going to face this week. The only real number one wide receiver they faced since the beginning of this year is Justin Jefferson. Yeah. Justin Jefferson decided when he was going to go up against the freaking number 2 freaking passing defense in the league to torch them for 184 and 2 touchdowns.
What did he have? It was something like 136 in the first half?
Yeah, 122 yards in the first half. And then he came back out and torched you for 60 more? You couldn't even adjust to figure out, hey, let's find a way to slow him down. So people are scared because they face freaking the Giants, the Bears, like, okay, and the Patriots, and what wide receivers on those rosters are scaring anybody? Justin Jefferson, he's scary, and he terrified the freaking Packers. So that number 2 passing defense thing is very overrated. Their rushing defense is damn near non-existent. Yeah. That's a problem because we've got a couple of running backs that would love to go ahead and play around with that. Mm-hmm. So the defense isn't as scary as everybody thinks it is. And I know people are like, well, they got Jair, you know what I'm saying? He's elite. Okay, well, his name is, but we haven't seen it this year.
They only have 2 players. It's Jair and Rashawn Gary. And Gary scares me more just because Tomlinson is playing like...
And Alexander.
Exactly. So then I'm like, all right, that's still... Okay, let's just say those guys decide to elevate their game and they can go ahead and hold down one guy. There's 5 other options that freaking Zach Wilson can go to. They don't have the manpower to match up defensively with our offense. Yeah. They just don't. Now, on the other side, their offense versus our defense. our defense is tailor-made to stop this offense. Like, it's all about creating pressure and disrupting the play, right? That 2.5 seconds you need to get the ball out of your hands. You can't do that if the defensive line is already in the backfield. Now, the thing is this. You don't have the time for your guys to create separation when you have basic-ass freaking DBs and your defensive line is playing that well. We've got 2 freaking defensive backs in the top 10 in the NFL. If you want to bring in Carter, we've got 3 in the top 20. They haven't faced a defensive
and technically, Brandon Nichols is up there too. He just doesn't meet the minimum snap count.
That minimum snap count. You're right. Yeah. You're right. Actually, you're right. I noticed that too in terms of performance, but he didn't meet the. I think it's at least 100 snaps or something like that. He hasn't hit that number or whatever it is. But like the matchup is just too funny. The running game is really their best option. Their best option to make this thing close is going to be to run it. And I think you're 100% right. There's no way Aaron Rodgers will allow it. There's no way. He will be audibling like a motherfucker out of whatever play is being called by LaFleur because he refuses to not put this game in his hands. For when they do win, he can say, yeah, relax. Just another day. I told you, just relax. Okay, cool. I think the biggest mistake they made was not taking the bye week like they were supposed to after coming back from London.
Yeah, the disrespect.
Disrespect. Man. Facts. Disrespect. Because that's exactly what it was. They just assumed it's the Jets. It's already a bye week. Why waste it so early? And now I think they're going to pay for it. But
they'll regret that shit real quick.
With that said, we already know. Like in terms of my predictions, you know what I'm saying? I predicted the Baltimore Ravens win, we lost. I predicted the freaking the loss against the Cleveland Browns, we won. I'm gonna keep it going. I predicted the loss against Miami, we won.
Yeah.
So
okay, Gunny. Yeah.
With that said,
he does all the time. He does this.
There it is.
Eyes.
Hey, look.
His eyes.
Packers win this Sunday, 28-17.
We gotta keep like a record count going forward.
Bruh, I'm telling you right now, thus far, it's my opposite predictions are batting 1,000.
All right, so Gunny's 0-4 if you believe in alternate dimensions.
Boom, there it is.
Bet your mortgage.
There we go. So this weekend, 28-17. Green Bay Packers win the game.
Your wife would be happy. So
I love
yes,
it,
you would be.
I love it.
I'd be miserable though. I'd be freaking miserable.
I love it. Man, you know what? I've only been right like twice. So I think I'm not gonna go with Gunny's approach, but I'm just gonna say I've always been around this range. I'm gonna go 25-20 Jets, and they just win with 1 minute left in the fourth quarter on a touchdown. He throws it, slants it to the right in the red zone to Breece Hall. Touchdown.
Okay, Gino done seen the future because apparently he done drawn up the whole play. He didn't.
What the winning drive looks like.
Hey man, I'm just saying, 25-20. Breece Hall gets that winning touchdown. Don't go to OT. You never know with this team. We can blow them out. We can suck. I'm just going medium. My wife always tells me I need to go medium. So
I think we start smacking them in the second half. I dropped my little preview video a few days ago, and one of the stats that stuck out to me was the fourth quarter, right? And obviously I'm kind of including third quarter in this discussion now, but we have scored 58 points in the fourth quarter, between offense, defense, special teams. The Packers have scored a whopping 12. They have struggled with double digits. And they have lost their 2 games in the second half where they've been shut out. And I think that was the Giants game. And then the other half, they just couldn't complete the comeback. So I'm not worried. Even if they finish the first half on a good note, we're tied, maybe they're up, 4 points, something crazy. There's nothing in my heart and soul right now that says that we should be worried about anything happening with the Packers unless their offense has a revelation and our defense sits there and, spits out a donut for us. So I said I was going to stay away from blowouts. I'll just probably keep it.
Just say what you got to say.
Say it with your chest.
Real, babe.
Say it with your chest.
Come on, man.
Hey,
you're in Vegas, man. There's no more.
I'm gonna keep it, yo. I don't gamble. I'm a smart man. I got to keep this mortgage money. I got
Bills, man. Bills is real.
Hey, I'm gonna say 2010 Jets dub.
2010. Okay.
Cool. I think it's crazy. Like none of us wanted to go into that 30 burger range. Like we're just like, nah, we don't want to go ahead and just do too much.
I'm worried because I called it with the Dolphins. I called the blowout. It took to the fourth quarter, but I literally called
I didn't think we were.
I wanted to call a blowout the last 3 or 4 weeks, so I think that's.
I thought the Dolphins was going to be a lot closer. I'm not going to lie to you, man. I thought that was going to be a one possession like win.
Me too,
bro. I definitely prefer the way it went out because, of course, if we beat them by one possession, they're already talking crap about it being, oh man, we had freaking our third string guy out there. Imagine if we beat them by 3 points with their third string freaking quarterback out there. I think it's a statement maker when we're like, okay, we'll spot you guys 14 an extra 2 touchdowns. We're still beating you with freaking Tua out there. I think it's easier to have that argument knowing that we freaking blew them out of the water.
I don't even pay attention to the wins anymore. It's more so how the flow of the game went, right? Because I look within the division at certain things. What the Patriots are doing with Bailey Zapp, it's ridiculous. Yo, Bill Belichick is different. That man, I hate him so much. That man,
me too.
But go out there, and I give the Lions a lot of credit, bro. I think they were the number 1 scoring team in the NFL.
Shut out. They were the number 1 offense in the NFL, bro, and got shut out by the freaking.
That man's stupid. I don't know many coaches that'll sit there and say, starting quarterback, you chill out. Didn't they give that boy Mac Jones? I can't remember who it was. They gave him 2 passes in the game, ran the ball like 64 times.
Oh, yeah. That was Mac Jones. Yeah, that was Mac Jones last year. 60. Yeah. It was you're right. 60-something runs, and it was 2 completed passes. He threw for 4. He threw for 4 total, but he completed 2. Yeah, that was insane to me. And they won. And they freaking won.
It's different. And they've done that to us before, too. I think Tom Brady's only thrown like 12 passes in a game. And they looked like we got smacked. It was like a 38-13 victory for them.
And then you look at the stat line and people are like, how did that even happen? Like, they got to go back and watch the game because it doesn't make any sense. But we watched it. We knew. They just ran it down our freaking throats because we – God, man. Look, the Patriots are supposed to come down to earth. I'm sorry, man. Seeing them win the way they did against the Lions kind of pissed me off. I'm like, no, man, your time is over. We're not doing this again. We're not doing this again.
It's like,
you guys have had your run. Relax.
Eat your chicken nuggets somewhere.
It's time for y'all to be in the toilet bowl of the AFC East. We need you at the bottom of the AFC. You guys have damn near no talent on your roster. You do that to the highest scoring offense in the league. You shut them out. Come on, man. I saw that game on replay and it just pissed me off because, like you said, I hate freaking Bill Belichick.
Oh, me too.
I hate him, man. I was hoping this would be the year where they freaking they win 2 games and he winds up saying all right, I've made enough money. I'm gonna retire.
Facts.
I want him to retire. I want him gone, bro. I want him gone. And this fool.
I don't think it'll happen now for like another 5-10 years though. Josh McDaniels was our best bet of him just saying I'm good.
But again, it's early. Yeah. It's still early. The Lions are a young team, so they're a young team. So there's that as well. I keep telling myself any given Sunday. That's a real thing. Exactly. Any given Sunday. Shit. The Dolphins beat the Bills.
Yeah.
Bills. I don't care if the Bills have their practice squad freaking secondary in there. And the Ravens. Any given Sunday, it's possible. So I keep telling myself that don't let this go to your head. But the hate and fear I have of Bill Belichick, I'm like, man, God, please don't. He's supposed to be retiring this year. This is the year. Josh is gone. Everything's supposed to start collapsing. They don't have continuity in that freaking locker room in terms of coaching anymore. There's no talent. But now that's the Jones, the rookie cornerback that they got or whatnot.
Oh, Jack Jones. Yeah.
Jack Jones. Yeah, bro. How did he find this kid? I'm like, that boy good. That boy pretty good. He's no sauce. But he's pretty damn good, and he's a rookie.
Hey, damn, I kind of want to say I'm regretting. I don't regret any of our draft picks, but I was going. All right, I can't remember who I had off the top of my head anymore. Sauce Gardner, I don't regret it as a pick, but I didn't originally have them at 4 based on how San Francisco's defense was built before. They just didn't really invest in the position. So I didn't see it happening. Plus, we haven't paid our secondary like ever.
Yeah.
Revis came back and got a bag, and that was off the back of, like Izzy and I think it was Izzy being retarded. So we haven't paid our secondary in forever. And then, I just didn't see it with the history of how they did things. If it wasn't going to be Sauce Gardner, I was so pressed that we need to make it happen. I didn't care if we had to take a jump and do it in the 3rd or the 4th. Bad. That boy is a demon.
Who?
You cut out. You cut out. Who'd you say?
Malik Willis?
Tariq Woolen from Seattle, the cornerback they picked up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I want him bad, bro. That dude is built just like Sauce. He just didn't have, the accolades and the experience. I was like, he's going to be a monster. I didn't think it was going to happen this early, per se. But, man.
Nah, for me, it was Sauce all the way, bro. I'm not going to lie to you. When I was looking at the tape of the top prospects, I was going edge rusher. I was a big fan of Kayvon Thibodeau. Then you just started hearing all the diva shit coming out, and I'm like, man, we don't need another Jamal Adams. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was getting that Jamal Adams type vibe, and I'm like,
everybody kills Adams, bro. I don't think Adams was that bad. It's the money ruins a lot of the. I think money screws a lot of that outlook that we've had about some of our great Jets players up. Because when it comes down to the end of the day, and I'm a former sports guy too, and nowhere near that level, but they be putting their bodies on on the blade, bro. They're getting smacked by freight trains basically every Sunday. People forget about all the practices where they got physical contact going on. There's press events. It's crazy what they go through. I would want to get paid too without risking my health to make sure that I got my future secured.
We all wanted to pay Jamal Adams. I wanted to pay Jamal. I was all about paying that man. And it was the way he went about it for me.
Exactly.
That's what.
I mean, but it wasn't anything crazier than what Darrelle Revis did. He was just a little bit more quiet about it.
I was mad about that too.
I was mad about it.
To me, I was like, man, you're a Jet for life. And we knew he was going to get paid. There was no freaking way. He got paid when he freaking held out, you know what I'm saying, after his freaking first contract. He held out, and that I understood. You know what? Get your money, bro. You've been balling the hell out. He wanted to be the top paid DB. And I wasn't worried about it because there's no way Rex Ryan was not going to have this dude on. I knew he wasn't going to let him not be on the roster. And sure enough, he missed a week of freaking practice, whatever, but he got paid. He was going to get paid. He became like the Nick Mangold, you know what I'm saying? The Brickashaw Ferguson on the defensive side of the ball for the Jets. We were going to pay him. To me, it was just the fact that he decided he didn't want to sign the tenure that we gave him. He would have made him, I think, the 3rd highest paid DB or whatever the freaking issue was.
We're talking about Revis too?
Revis, yeah. And he was like, no, I want more. And then they wound up trading him to the freaking Patriots, which, what the fuck?
No.
No, I'm sorry. Tampa Bay. Straight to Tampa Bay. And then he went to the Patriots. But when he got traded, I was like, what the fuck? This guy is a staple in Revis Island. People were getting tattoos of Revis Island on their body.
That's fake.
Staple, bro. To the organization. So that one, I was upset at the way he went about it because he could have signed the contract, man, and they would have given him you know what? Appreciate you for everything you did. Here's your freaking final contract to retire a Jet. He wound up still getting it.
Would they?
I think so, bro. They gave it to him anyway. In the back end.
They have not treated anybody in the secondary for as good. Historically, what's the last cornerback that's got paid by us?
But think about it. When's the last time there was a player like Revis in the league? Deion Sanders?
Facts.
Sanders, bro.
Different. I think Revis was truly the only person of his kind. There's nobody else that ran man coverage damn near 80% plus of their snaps, and it was always the number one wide receiver.
Top wide receivers in the league. Shut out, bro. Revis was built different. And I think Woody Johnson was smart enough to understand this is an investment long term because people still buy Revis' shit. I still buy Revis' shit, bro. Like it's Revis.
Bro, I got my Revis jersey signed by Vic when they had the draft out here. I was like, you gonna sign this one.
I got my Revis jersey signed. What game was that? Cowboys game. Freaking what year was that? Now I'm having a brain fart. A while back. But like, bro, I stopped wearing it. Like literally, that was a game worn jersey. Like I didn't play, obviously. I went to the game wearing it. You know, he signed that bad boy. I had it authenticated, and it's never come off the wall. Like Revis is one of my favorite Jets, even with the fact that he played for the Patriots and won a freaking Super Bowl with the Patriots.
I know.
Yeah, that hurts.
Yeah. It hurts so bad, man. It hurts so bad.
But
I won't ever get over it. I
won't either. I'm that sensitive to it, bro. I will. He's still my favorite Jet. He's still one of my favorite Jets. Right? He's on my freaking Jet, like freaking Mount Rushmore. But man, there's an asterisk next to his name now because of the Super Bowl he won with the Patriots. And I can't.
For me, it's just the fact that he played with them regardless. I know it's a money thing for him, which I could really respect. But it's the fact that you even suited up because I remember the rumors we had over the offseason and even into the season where they were like, yo, we should scoop up like a Dante Hightower, right? Round out linebacker core. Like, the Patriots aren't coming over to the Jets. I can't even think of one that has played for the Patriots like came over, excluding like a Curtis Martin.
No.
My boy was Ty Law. My boy was Ty Law. I've always been a Ty Law fan. He's one of my favorite players of all time.
Oh, that's right.
So Ty Law came over 2 different times. He didn't really do much, but he did good, but he wasn't like
he was in the back end of his career.
Patriots. Yeah. But like when we got him and Revis was gone, I was pretty giddy. I was like, okay, all right, this is the caliber corner that we need, and because I think Revis and Law to me are on the same level. To me, I know a lot of people. Hey,
you know,
you don't mean that.
You know,
you don't mean that, Gino.
I know you don't mean that.
I know. I
think that chain is poisoning him over there.
I think he's. Is it? You got the flu, bro?
You don't disrespect Revis like that. Not on this.
How dare you?
The gall, bro. What
dare you, sir? Ty Law and Revis on the same, bruh. There's no other DB that could even be.
You know how hard we argue against Richard Sherman even being compared to him?
Oh my God, yeah.
I hate Richard Sherman.
The argument was so ridiculous. Richard Sherman was nowhere near as talented as freaking Terrell Revis. The pure fact that he was mentioned, that dude stayed on one side of the field and he didn't follow the best receiver. Don't. That's it. That was the end of the conversation. Do you follow the best receiver every game? No, you don't. Shut the fuck up. You're not on the same level as Terrell Revis.
Yeah, nobody. There's not a defensive coordinator that's really going to be willing to risk that anymore. Like Sauce Gardner, I really believe can probably be the next closest thing. Maybe Jalen Ramsey and maybe God damn it, what was his name?
Wait, are you talking about cornerbacks?
Yeah.
That's still playing or retired?
Either one. For me, it really only would have been like a Jalen Ramsey and I forget his name. Oh boy,
I would say Jalen Ramsey like a few years ago, bro. Jalen Ramsey's, I don't know, man. He's lost.
He's lost a lot.
He is good this season, yo.
Huh?
I like Champ Bailey. I enjoyed.
Champ Bailey was cool. Champ Bailey was a baller, though.
Champ Bailey was, though. That dude could hit, though. That was one of those guys like who played DB but loved to hit.
Wasn't Champ one of the dudes that was always like snatching off? Who was the Ravens guy? He was always like snatching his chain.
Ed Reed.
Yeah.
You talking about Ed Reed?
He was snatching his chain. Nah. It was I want to say it was Champ Bailey. He was always.
Was he a wide receiver?
Yeah, it was a wide receiver. He always got into it with, and he would always snatch his chain off. They get into it.
Steve Smith.
Maybe.
That's what I was thinking. Like Steve Smith or something.
Yes.
Steve Smith, because Steve Smith used to freaking get under people's skin, bro. That dude was just I love it. Being that little bit
of like the NFL's what's old boy? Not Robinson. Y'all would know who I'm talking about. Who's Patrick Beverly. NFL's Patrick Beverly.
Oh, Beverly. Got you. I mean, I can see it. I see that. GVH speaking some truth right there. Law was good and had his moments. but Law did not shut down the likes of a human named Megatron and Ocho Cinco. Man,
and Randy Moss. And I might need to pull up that pic that they show of the receiver lockdown.
Andre Johnson, Randy Moss, Calvin Johnson, Ocho Cinco, Larry Fitzgerald. Oh, bro, like
the list goes on.
Ballot Hall of Famers that just got stuck on Revis Island, and it was repeatedly. Like it was.
And the crazy part is, it's not just like, I think nobody caught more than like 4 passes on him, and nothing over like 50-something yards maybe. But like, we also got to remember, this was the time where, as a number 1 wide receiver, you were going to easily get like 15 targets a game.
Yep. Because there was only one of you on each team. Not on each team, on most teams, and they were going to force feed you the ball.
Facts.
Darrelle Revis, man, did it. Oh my God, And again, I think you're right, man. I Jalen Ramsey, man. I don't think Jalen Ramsey, because he's been getting cooked.
He's been burned so many times. I've been watching all these Rams games, and he does not look comfortable. Does not look.
He doesn't. Truthfully,
my brother-in-law is even
leaving the Jaguars.
Yeah.
Since leaving the Jaguars, he hasn't played like. I don't think the Rams are like, this is what we traded these first round picks away to get. Like he
checked out. I don't think it's a skill issue. I think
so too. I think so too. He got the bag, and now he's okay with being average.
Yeah, I think that first season he did really good for them, and then after you take a look, and he's like, all right, maybe this team isn't what I thought it was going to be to get me a ring. Let's just focus on being good enough to secure another contract, and we'll kind of close.
Stay healthy. Yep. But you got to have that special something, man. That extra layer of dog in you to just want to be the best and grind. Darrelle Revis just wanted to be the best. He thrived on give me the best guy because I want to shut him down.
I loved all the stories we used to get about how he wouldn't even let people catch a ball on him in practice and walk.
In practice, bruh. In practice, he was just like,
the Brandon Marshall story.
Hitting him with the out there.
That's funny.
I love that, man. I'm like, but I see a lot of that in Sauce, though, bro. Like a lot of that swag and that mentality in Sauce. And again, I think Sauce has more physical skills than Darrelle Revis did. The physical, tangible, gifts.
And the height.
And the height, all that stuff, right?
The reach.
But Revis, man, he played the game like it was an art form, bro. Like it was cerebral, matching his skill sets. And he could also mirror almost any wide receiver. Like it didn't matter. And I think Sauce is going to be great. I'm not going to be in that position to be like, oh, he's the next Darrelle Revis, because I don't think they'll ever be. Like, there'll never be a next Tom Brady, right? There's just those individuals that you'll never see again. You saw them in a lifetime. Like, we were blessed and cursed at the same time to be able to witness a quarterback play at the level that Tom Brady has. You're not going to see another team win 7
The only person
Super
that can
Bowls.
come a close second is Mahomes. Only a close second. It just depends on hold on. It just depends on what type of team they surround him with. But Mahomes is a freak of nature. He reminds me of Michael Vick with the way he runs. And Michael Vick always had a good throw. A beautiful throw. No. When he was with the Eagles. He was with the Eagles.
I don't know about
the only
that.
time we saw it. It was the only time that we saw it. I mean, everything else, no. But if
I won't say so. He has the same similar kind of impact. I wouldn't say running style whatsoever.
But it's different though. Like, so Patrick Mahomes, he's that new electrifying, in this generation where they've kind of made the game more pass friendly. Yeah. It's in favor of quarterbacks to throw up big numbers. Tom Brady did it, man, where they were freaking beating up wide receivers before they came off the line, right? Like, he did that shit in a time frame where it wasn't as easy to go ahead and get a pass interference call or to go ahead and create freaking rules that benefited the passing game. So, we're going to see a bunch of freaking, Madden type level numbers now. And Patrick Mahomes is elite. Don't get it twisted. Like, he's fun to watch. Him, Josh Allen, those guys are going to be fun to watch for years. But Tom Brady didn't just play the game for the numbers, man. Like, he played literally to win.
He definitely send their offense.
Patrick Mahomes got a $500 million contract right now, right? Like, that's going to eat into the ability to keep talent. I mean, hell, they had to get rid of Tyreek Hill. They had to get rid of Tyreek Hill.
In all fairness, though, I don't think Tom Brady would have took a pay cut on his very first contract extension either, though.
But he did.
Not the first one.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
Tom
every single contract,
every single contract, bro. Tom Brady's first contract, actually, he should have been the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. He was the fifth.
I had to go back and peep. I know. His last.
Randy Moss took more.
Oh, you know what?
More than him.
You're definitely right. I just remember seeing like a little. I just remember seeing like a little stat thing that did show like he's the lowest paid starting quarterback based on contracts that others around him with similar stats.
Exactly, bro. Like he consistently did it. He did say that.
His biggest regret is not giving Randy Moss a Super Bowl. That was his biggest regret.
He actually said that. And as much as we all hate Tom Brady because he was in our nightmares every freaking Sunday for freaking 2 decades,
still is until we get a Super Bowl.
If he was in the NFC, we'd be like, man, it's fun watching this guy. Like we'd be like, this guy is just a joy to watch. We have a hate for that man because if you love the game of football, you have to respect and admire what this man has done. Especially being a 7th round freaking draft pick, man. Like looking like he ends long in the league, bro. Like he's an underdog story that everybody like dreams and aspires to hopefully have. And like he's that fairy tale. But unfortunately for us, he had to be on the freaking Patriots, and we had to deal with him every goddamn season. And he's just cursed us. He's like in our nightmares. Yeah. But man, I don't think we'll ever see another Tom Brady, bro. Like, and again, I think there are more physically talented quarterbacks in the NFL now. I think there's one. Josh Allen, more gifted. I think even freaking Zach Wilson, more arm talent, more gifted. Patrick Mahomes, obviously,
100%
more gifted.
Tom Brady's still report for his arm said he had a noodle. Like,
how about that one,
bro? I don't understand how the dude put up the numbers he did, except for pure game study, bro. Like this dude, pure timing, pure repetition. He's never had the strongest arm, but he's always been accurate, calm, and collected under pressure. As it sucks to say it, but like you need to be a special kind of somebody to do what Tom Brady has accomplished in his career.
Oh yeah, after Peyton Manning, he's the only other guy that transcended being able to attack defenses after the snap.
Yep, facts.
Even Breeze, what he does.
Oh yeah, Breeze up there too. Breeze had the talent too with it. He was just able to kind of marry everything together.
Yep.
Yeah.
GVH be on it, yo. He called Berrios. I forgot about him. Berrios did come over from the Pats.
Yes, he did.
Oh shit, that's right.
Dude, look at Brian's comment. Go to the last one. Look at Brian's comment.
I'm loving the comment. Thanks, Diane. Appreciate you.
That's what. Yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah. But he sucked covering slot. I wouldn't say he sucked. He wasn't as effective.
Pause. I'm trying to think the last time he was really even living in the slot like that, though.
He did. I think he followed.
He did.
I want to say it was Stevie Johnson. I don't know about anybody else. Stevie Johnson, Wes Welker. Actually, I think Steve Smith too a couple of times. And he definitely was not built. Danny Amendola was another one. He was not built for the slot because what Rex would do would be like, hey, go follow the best receiver. And unfortunately, we encountered some really, really good slot wide receivers. And he would jump into the slot. Now, again, I don't think he sucked. I wouldn't say he sucked. But
I think it was just average.
There it is. He was average. There it is.
Yeah, it was just average.
In comparison to what he should. I mean, Brian's not wrong. In comparison to like what we expect from Revis, it sucked to see him be average. Yeah. But yeah, he was
never an off-man style cornerback, though. So I mean, like I'll give him this is why I appreciate Michael Carter as much as I do, because we've had our own fair share of struggles with nickel cornerbacks, but it's such a hard transition. You have way more open space and way more techniques and concerns and ways for them to manufacture, getting the guy open between hitches and timing route concepts.
Yeah, bro, it's complex to be a freaking slot corner. It's
complex. You gotta damn near go out there and do calculus like 3 seconds before the ball snapped. And hope you can keep up with somebody that's not a beast.
You gotta have quarterback level like play recognition in the slot.
Yo, so like it reminds me of when the Bears were wrecking the league for that season with the Monsters of Midway. When they say forget it, man. we don't need intelligent people. We'll just throw out 6'6" beast out there and expect you to figure it out.
Go stop him.
Yo, it was nuts.
We can all agree. Though. Ed Reed. Tom Brady didn't like facing against Ed Reed. and I loved when he came to Jets. He didn't do crap though. But like I would say Ed Reed is the best safety, at least one of the best safeties of all time.
I'll say one of, but for me, if you got to, I'll say one of, definitely. He's definitely top three. I'll give you top three. But my number one safety of all time, and I don't think it's without question, Troy Polamalu. Troy Polamalu. You disagree? Bro, this dude was an impact player in the run. He could defend freaking running backs out of the backfield. He could also be an effective slot protector. Like, you don't think Troy Polamalu was a beast?
No. He was different. He's definitely a monster. He's why I ended up liking Whitehead signing a bit. I don't know about the best.
What?
Best overall safety?
Best overall safety. Who would you say would be the best overall safety?
Yeah, I'll stick with Ed Reed for me, or Harrison. With the Patriots. I didn't like his dirty play.
I feel like we're disrespecting Sean Taylor here. Sean Taylor was different, bro. That man was giving
he was different. He was
giving you bone-crushing hits. He was catching anything that was thrown over his head. Don't let him come downhill and get into the box on you.
To be fair, shortened career, you know what I'm saying? Like, rest in peace.
Right, exactly.
But you're right, though. Like,
Sean Taylor was different.
Sean Taylor was alien. He was an alien that played freaking safety. Like, in a linebacker's body with the athleticism of a freaking cornerback, he didn't make sense. Physically speaking, didn't make sense. Sean Taylor was definitely.
And he had, and the stuff that he went through off the field with his family and all the health issues that he had, it just made me respect him even more as a player.
Brian Dawkins.
Oh, I forgot about Dawkins.
That's an honorable mention. Mention.
I can't say he's top three, but he's
top three though. No, Brian Dawkins was he could lay you out. That dude probably one of the hardest hitting safeties of all time.
But like,
I'll give you that.
I hate when people relegate it to just the hits, though, because if that's the case, we should have loved the LaRon Landry signing. That man was he 6'4" and like 260 pounds trying to play safety?
Trying to play safety, bro. Roy Williams, yeah.
Roy Williams, okay.
Cowboys, yeah. He was a bust.
Steve Atwater. We're going back though. If we keep it to like the last 10, 15 years, then I would probably say Ed Reed and Troy Polamalu.
Yeah. But man, Sean Taylor, though, that's a good one, bro. Like I can't believe I forgot Sean. Like I can't believe that I forgot Sean Taylor. That's a good one.
Criminal. Man, I forgot Ronnie Lott.
Yeah, Ronnie Lott too.
Yeah,
for me, I think Sean Taylor was like
he was different.
He was the clear safety.
I think you're right, bro.
What about Woodson? What about that Woodson?
Roy Woodson? Charles Woodson?
No,
Rob Woodson for the Oakland Raiders.
Yes. What about
Rob Woodson. He was good. I wouldn't put him top three.
He's above average, but I wouldn't say he was in the elite tiers.
No. He was.
He's like just below there, or he's in the bottom of those elite guys.
He's in that he's a Pro Bowl caliber. You know what I'm saying? He'll make that we're talking about like All Pro.
Yeah.
Like I don't think he's like an All Pro caliber kind of guy. But it's an honorable mention there too. Damn man, Sean Taylor, bro. I kind of want to go back. I'm about to jump off, and when I get off, and I'm going to jump on YouTube. Bro, Sean Taylor was fun to watch too, bro. He was so fun to watch.
Facts. Hey, do you think? All right, because it's funny because I feel like I look forward too much when it comes to the Jets because that's just how we've had to do things.
Right.
This draft, I'm so excited for. But with the people we currently have on here, and like more so the younger folks. Right. None of the free agents count in my head, like the Carl Lawsons, the Whiteheads and stuff that we got. I'm not counting them, but from our first and second year players, is there anybody that you potentially think can hit that elite category? And I'm going to mark out Sauce Gardner because I think we would all say him.
Yeah, that's easy. That's an easy one. Elite category. So we're talking all pro caliber.
John Lynch. I forgot about John Lynch.
Oh, Denver Broncos. John Lynch was another hard hitting safety.
Buccaneers too.
Oh, that's right. He played for the Buccaneers as well. I don't know. When we're talking about like all-time top three, I wouldn't put John Lynch in my. He's not on my Mount Rushmore.
I forgot about him.
But another good one.
Yeah, really good one. So wait,
who can be elite out of our last 2 draft picks?
Yeah, who potentially can be in that elite, and not like elite for the Jets. I mean, elite throughout the NFL. Who do we think may potentially get into that realm of things?
So like all
not
pro
just
caliber.
The Jets?
Yeah,
Like
like elite. Like by the time, let's say they can play 12, 15 years in the league. By the time they wrap up, who could be considered, let's just say, like top 10 at their position potentially?
Okay,
if we even
a
have
Jets
a player,
person or
someone else. Sauce Gardner.
As a Jets person?
Any Jets we drafted in the
New
last
York
2
Jet that we have drafted, let's say within the last 3 years, we got rid of everybody else.
That's a good point.
The last 3 years, drafted by the Jets, so no free agents, and it can't be Sauce Gardner. Do we have anybody that could potentially be elite at their position?
Yes,
on defense.
Tucker.
Okay, on defense. Okay,
Brian's with you. ABT.
Lashon Tucker. Like he's going to be an all pro. Truthfully, I think he might be an all pro this year if he plays guard.
It has to be, bro. I've been hearing John Klecko of the offense for him. Like,
yeah,
bro, he's
Liam keeps saying that.
He's a fucking bro. He has played every position on the offensive line except for center, and has played it at a.
He's been above average at worst.
At above average has been the worst position, and that would be him at left tackle.
Yeah,
but even still, that was a 70-something grade he got for playing left tackle. That's that's
yeah.
That's insane to me, bro. So if we had to pick one, it's gotta be freaking AVT, bro. That's
AVT.
If it can't be Sauce, it's AVT. Now, I'll let Gino get one.
I would have said AVT and Gardner, but I'm gonna be honest. I think it's Breece Hall. Breece Hall is built different. He reminds me of so many greats. I wanted to be his own player, but like he is. I loved him in college. I almost shit my pants when we got him. I love.
I was surprised.
What he brings. I love what he brings to the table. He is going to be our number one. Hopefully,
Kurt Wilson second. See, so AVT.
I hope. Him and Carter. I hope.
I think Breece Hall is going to be a top 5 running back in the NFL by next year. I think by next year he's going to be. He's going to. In fact, it wouldn't shock me if like next year fantasy football they're talking about like, yo, he's the consensus number 1 overall like fantasy football thing, right? Like, because it's not just that he just had a great game against Miami this past week. It's not just that. It's the way he did it and the company he's in doing it. What he accomplished has only been done by, I think, Herschel Walker and Alvin Kamara, like in the history of the NFL in terms of 100 receiving yards and 80+ rushing yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
But you've seen him literally get better every single game this year. He hasn't taken a step backwards in any game. He's only gotten better every single game this year. Breece Hall he's a different breed, man. And I think in this league, very few running backs are legitimately every down backs. We have an every down back in Breece Hall. I think next year, if he's not next year at worst, he's top 5. But I really believe he's going to be that 1 to 2, 1 to 3 range in terms of conversations already in year 2. Breece Hall.
You got it. We can only just keep going in the one part that's stop at the 1 yard line.
Oh, he'll watch. He's gonna. And that's why I think freaking Barrios messed him up on that first one, man. Barrios pretty much kind of fell down in front of him and whatnot, kind of added extra freaking traction for the dude he was carrying to kind of have. I think Barrios, because it was 1 yard away, bro. Barrios doesn't create extra traction. I think he carries old boy right into the freaking end zone. But I digress. I'm salty because that was freaking 6 points I didn't get on my fantasy football team. I
say that too. I got a question for you guys though. Did you guys see the Raiders game? The last play of the Raiders game this past week.
I watched it. I watched the game, but I'm not.
When Renfro and Adams hit each
other. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't feel bad. I was just laughing my ass off the whole time. I love what they're doing. I love what they're doing over there, but like, it just made me laugh so hard. I know this is random, come out left field, but like, I wanted your thoughts on it. Like, they could have won that game.
And like, anything that takes away from our butt fumble.
I was going to say the same thing. The butt kick from the Miami Dolphins. Yeah. I'm all about it.
Or the mono. Take away the
number one Devontae, the number one wide receiver in the NFL right now, running into another wide receiver and in essence costing them the win. I'm all about it. He wants to go ahead and push the little ass cameraman because he's upset that he took the L.
Hey, he caught all about it over that.
Misdemeanor assault, bro. Look, I'm all about, like you just said, bro. If it takes away from the freaking humble dog, hey, I'm all about it. Let's laugh at some other teams for a change.
Can't forget the mono.
The what?
Is interesting. Mono.
Oh, the mono? Yeah.
Mono.
Freaking Sam Darnold.
Man.
I had to look up what mono was after he caught it because I was pissed. I was like, okay, so I was.
You don't know what mono is?
You know, not. No. I don't have to worry about that. So
I don't have to worry about it. I'm a grown ass man. So I had to go back to the same thing. I was like, mono, it's so bad it's keeping him out of the game for 2 games. I literally went. I realized I was like, how the fuck is this grown ass man getting mono?
Yeah,
what are they doing, bro?
I thought it was short for something crazy, like you know how they say like I got RS and I got like
I thought it was like mononucleosis or something like
I'm like
infection in his bones or something. I thought something crazy, bro. And I was like, kissing disease. Kids get it.
Disease.
Kids get it. What is
high school? Get it. College? Yeah, they all get it.
You out here kissing on too many people, bro. You need to be focusing on these passes.
Football, you can pay millions of dollars.
This is a good question, guys.
Yeah, I just seen it too.
I like that. Who is the MVP of the Green Bay game after the Jets win?
It will be Breece Hall.
Breece the Beast.
Breece Hall.
I don't know why that chant can't get going either. I just keep hearing them shout Breece.
Yeah.
Breece Hall. Okay.
Hey man, listen. He keeps doing this. Keep doing it to him.
Feed him. MVP.
Since you said Breece, I'm gonna go defense.
Okay.
I think Carl Lawson is gonna have a field.
I think it's Ashton Davis.
Oh, you think he comes in?
Is he still on the team? I didn't even know he was still on the team.
He comes into 3 snaps, right? He probably gets 2 picks and a forced fumble or something.
Hey,
I take it.
I think this is going to be Carl Lawson's like big sack.
I know. I just see me coming. Sorry, go on.
Carl Lawson each week has just gotten better and better in his pressure rate. He's finally getting to the quarterback now. The Packers have an injury at their left tackle. He's been hampered all week in practice. And I think this is going to be the week. Because right now, I don't know if you guys noticed this shit, but last week, that freaking rotation thing didn't go as often as it was going before.
Q
was at 75% of the snaps he was out there. Carl Lawson was at 71% of the snaps he was out there. And I think the other person was Sheldon Rankins that was out there for another 60%. And JFM was at like 50. They're keeping them out there to get going. And you saw the difference in them creating pressure and getting after the quarterback.
Right.
And I think this is going to be the week Carl Lawson's going to go ahead and rack up about 3 sacks. I think he's going to get 3 to Aaron Rodgers 3 times. And
that's going to be Carl Lawson. I think I'm gonna go defense too, since I think things are skewed in our way. But I'm going to go with the guy I called out as the MVP of the team already, quietly, although it shouldn't be quiet. DJ Reed. I think he goes out there and he doesn't just handcuff like he's been doing. I think he goes out there and he actually picks up another interception or 2 this week. We know Aaron Rodgers is going to try to force his wide receivers, and he's I think what was the crazy stat I seen? He gives his wide receivers about 0.51 yards of distance, which I think was like 6.
Yep, and then he closes faster than any other player in the league. It's a disgusting, like his close rate is they were equating it to going 0 to 60 in like a freaking Ferrari or one of those ridiculous cars. Like he's baiting the quarterbacks because when you see it, you're thinking, oh, that's 5 yards of separation. That dude's open. But his closing speed is something ridiculous.
I'm going to change my answer. He's an all-pro. He's an all-pro, man. He keeps coming in and out. It's McDermott for me.
I hate him, bro.
Go home.
Hey,
that's it. Go to bed. Go to bed, Gino. You're tired.
Today, yo.
Gino, you're tired. Go to sleep.
Hey, look, if we're gonna mention anybody, because this is somebody that could potentially come and do us some harm, we need to be putting Michael Clemens' name out there and throwing some respect.
You do.
I'm actually surprised, man. He's not getting more snaps.
Yeah,
you know what? Maybe this is it. JJ's hurt. JJ's not going to be playing this week, so maybe he's going to get a chance. Ooh, I think Zach breaks out to get 300 yards, 2 TDs. Okay, Brian. I like you, Brian. I like you a lot. Because you know what? Yeah. I'm starting Zach Wilson in 2 of my fantasy football leagues. I'm benching Kirk Cousins, and I'm actually going to drop Russell Wilson.
Give it to him, Gunny.
I'm gonna keep Zach in, and I'm gonna draft Zach in my freaking draft.
Hey, just because he's gonna drop 40 for you today.
300 yards, 2 TDs. And you know what, man? And it wouldn't surprise me. Like Brian, in all actuality, like it wouldn't surprise me.
He should have had a couple games like that already. It's just a few things here and there haven't gone the way.
Exactly. And this is game 3 now, and he's going up against his idol, right? Aaron Rodgers is who he emulated growing up. Yeah. And I think Zach's the kind of dude that wants to show off a little bit. Now, hopefully not in a reckless fashion. Not in a reckless fashion.
Yeah.
But like, you know what I'm saying? I think he wants to go ahead and show he's growing up. Because to me, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, whenever I played against individuals that I had looked up to when I was a freaking little freshman in high school playing basketball, and now the guy who was on varsity, that's a junior, and the sophomore I get to play him, I always elevated my game just a little bit, just because you can't help yourself. You just want to elevate them, and that's where freaking Zach Wilson gets to literally go up against his childhood idol. I think this is Brian. You just made my night. Yes, Zach Wilson's definitely going to stay in the starting lineup in my fantasy football leagues. 300 yards, 2 TDs. I love it. I absolutely love it.
And Salah facing against his best friend. That's going to be great. They were both at each other's weddings.
Yep.
And then with the brother rival. I mean, this is going to be prime time, baby. Like, this is going to be good.
You guys see we got bumped up to the A squad for the announcer group.
Yeah,
bro.
Baby.
I was like, respect. Put some respect on our name.
Damn time.
Yo,
gotta keep some squad on the field.
The way they've done it so far.
Yeah, I know.
It's all good though.
Give us a Thursday night game.
Yeah, you know what's funny to me? I don't know why I be doing this, but I be peeping the New York Jets channels, and their sub count has been going crazy. They went from like 68,000 to I think they're touching like just over 74 now.
Yep.
In the last month or two.
Yep.
Damn bandwagon.
People love a winner. I mean, like I said before, there's fanatics and then there's spectators. You heard Coach Salah. There's those that believe in faith and those that believe in having to see it for themselves, right? The thing is, the ones that believe in faith, man, we ain't got no limitations, baby.
That man got 100 quotes, yo.
Bro, for real. I find myself using them when I'm talking to like people, like just out of nowhere. I'm just like bringing up freaking random motivational quotes, and I'm like, Coach Salah that.
I be having to train at work, and I'd be like, nah, you got 60% more.
60% more.
Right. Hey man, faith, trust, and pixie dust, baby.
Man,
Disney.
Oh man,
Disney,
I can't wait for Sunday to get here. 3 days. 3 days to go, boys.
It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be great.
I'm here to make you guys laugh. I feel like I accomplished.
This was a good one. This was fire. I think I'm gonna wrap up with my eye twitching.
Yeah, my wife over there looking at me in the corner like, you said you were gonna be out there for an hour. I'm like, I keep looking at her. I'm trying to avoid eye contact, but then she just came around the corner again, and I just happened to look just as she came around. I'm like, shit, she saw me. She saw me, but I saw her.
At least an hour and a half. Tell her an hour and a half.
Nah, 100%. I heard she tries to be sneaky. You know, she sent one of the boys down being all extra loud.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Like, go let your daddy know he's time to get off the freaking computer.
Right,
he's done.
Right. Dude, I don't have kids. I don't have kids, so I just have a wife that she's sleeping right now. So
lucky you.
Yeah, I know. I was trying
my
to say
kids keep walking down the stairs. They got school in the morning.
They got
school in the morning, and they trying to pretend like
I respect the family.
They're not supposed to be in bed. I'm about to beat their ass. What's about to happen?
Ooh,
I know you're supposed to be in bed right now.
Oh,
you got school in the morning. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. They keep coming out. They keep coming out. Just slow down.
Exclusive.
I don't really hit my kids. That was just me being funny. I don't hit.
No. I'm in the same boat. Yeah, if y'all catch me at the right time, it's gonna be 100 threats over you.
Yeah, dude. It's all about timing and everything.
You never know who's
timing
watching, bro. You never know who's watching.
Yeah, man. Timing's everything.
100%. I guess we'll do some closing rounds real quick again. GVH, Brian. I know I'm missing another one. Where'd you go? Louis, BK,
Diane.
Diane.
Appreciate you guys. Oh yeah, that's mom's. That's mom.
BK. Past 36.
Yeah, appreciate the comments. Appreciate the love. Yo, I think somebody showed me somebody actually hashtagging our Jets Flight Squad thing before, and
oh snap!
Yeah,
there it is.
Besides us.
Oh, really?
Somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was dope. But yeah, I don't have much like the other fellas do. I'm an old man. I don't care for social media like that. So you can find me on YouTube where you found me today.
You can send him a request. He might let you into his Instagram. Right. You know what I'm saying? It all depends.
Right. Yeah, 100%. You can find me on Instagram, which will be a little bit of my personal life every 8 months at DKB_jersey.
You're killing me, dude.
Yo.
Oh, I love it. I'm
gonna go ahead and pass the torch to the social media warriors, though.
Oh my God.
Hey, GVH, man, thank you so much for you hung out with us the entire time, bro. Hey, much love. We appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Like, It's fun for us to interact with you guys, man. So wonderful comments. We appreciate it. You can catch me, man, at New York Jet Situation Report, YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I'm all over. You know what I'm saying? Love to go ahead and connect with you. Got a couple of freaking giveaways coming up. I'm actually going to be announcing one probably here this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I got to talk to you, freaking Gino. But I'm gonna call you in the morning. Cool. Well, I want to pick up some of those things you showed me earlier today.
Yeah, they're here.
Yeah.
I'm slacking. I got a link with him.
Yeah, bro. Like cool. he's my new primary connect. My other guy actually hit me up right when I did the giveaway for the the mini helmets. I did the giveaway on Twitter. He was like, "Hey, I didn't sell you those. Where'd you get those from?" And I was like, "Hey," I was like, shit, I should have told you, bro. I got, you know what I'm saying? I got a connect now, like, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, "Oh, it's like that. You couldn't let me know." I'm like, "Well, bro, like he had some really good stuff, and I wanted it. I didn't realize you had." We don't have a contract or anything. Like, what are you?
Hey, man. It's okay.
It's all about the plugs, bro.
It's all about the love and the plugs. You can catch me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok and Snapchat, Italy Jet, even everything NYJ. Our shows are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Post-game shows as well with Harrison Glazer, the show. I got another show coming on Thursday nights before this. Drew Jets and me are breaking down everything. It's good times. Fellas, this is a good group. Keep following us. Keep following us on our journey. You could tell we got the funniness. We got the brains. Take a share, like, and comment, subscribe. Let's do this.
Hey, 100%. We're going to try to get some things going. You know, I know we got a pretty good following. We got some pretty consistent people that pop up for all of us and each other. But we definitely want to have these comments, you know, go not the gritty.
She's still in the gritty.
Hey, Gino, I'm gonna. All right, this is what we'll do. We'll do this. No, I'll link with you because apparently I need some networking tips and some merchandising help, some social media help, assistance.
Gotcha.
Just go to both.
I'm gonna give you a 4. I'm gonna give you a 4 on the gritty, but I will help you get it to a 9 or a 10.
I don't really care. You can give me a 3, and I wouldn't care. Hey man, my wife married me for my dance moves. That's not even anything. That's nothing. Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
Yeah. So I think what we're gonna do is if you get the worst prediction record out of us, you definitely got to do like a little choreographed session. Yeah.
Okay. I do a mean wobble.
You got. Nah, yeah. Hey, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and get remarried so we can fly out. I gotta see this in person.
Dude,
I got to. I gotta see.
Me and my sister, we do a mean wobble. We were very good at that.
Respect.
I'm gonna need the invite. I'm gonna need the invite. I want to see it.
I got videos. I will get it from my sister and I'll send it to her. Hopefully she still has them.
Bet.
If we do it, come up a wedding,
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Hey, I'm gonna tell my wife to just tape it. Man. Roll with it.
Hey, we gotta come up. All right, this is probably my final thought. We gotta.
No, it's not.
I feel like the fan base, we be underselling the Jets a little bit, right? When I be looking at like little wallpaper background art, like little stuff for my thumbnails, we don't have as much fire stuff as the rest of the NFL, and we gotta have like that signature dance. Ray Lewis had his little Ravens little joint. We gotta, Gino.
Yeah, all right, here we go. You want me to do it?
Don't throw your back out.
You all right, bro?
Yeah.
Anesthesia?
I went to the chiropractor today, guys. I'm doing great.
Oh, you're feeling great. That explains a lot.
I see.
You got some medicine, huh, bud? You feeling really good.
That Vicodin wears off after a while, Gino. Yo. We're not going to see him next week on the podcast because he's going to be in the stretcher.
He's gonna be just. It's gonna be just his voice because he's gonna go ahead. Be not on camera. Just his voice. You're gonna hear.
Facts. A headshot.
I'm gonna sound like. What? Gonna sound like that.
Oh man, I don't know why you do that to your wifey, but
man, it's fine.
All right, boys. For the serious,
good night, gentlemen.
Appreciate the love. We will get back to you guys next week again. Gino, keep your back safe. Gunny, we're probably gonna have the same activities in a minute with the boys.
Yep.
I'm gonna go yell at my cats.
Hey, I'm about to go Joe Jackson in here.
They're gonna learn today.
Hey,
they're about to learn today.
100%.
Sit your ass.
Good night, gentlemen.
All right, y'all.
Next week, boys.
Peace.